Good morning, dear students. My name is Radhesyam, and we will discuss what is the rules for mathematical operation with the significant figure. So, first of the rule that we have to study or that we need to know is in case of product and product and division. So when two or three number are multiplied or divided, how do we decide what will be the significant figure of the product or division? So rule is simple. We decide significant figure on the basis of least significant figure of the given number. Least significant figure from the given numbers. Hopefully this makes sense. What do we mean by that? Let's say that we are given a is equal to 2.302 and b to be 3.04 and c to be 0.04. let's say that we have taken example like this. So if we multiply, if somebody asks what is the multiplication of a and b, what you will do? We'll do normal multiplication. 2.302 multiplied by 3.04, and we already know that significant figure for this is 4. Significant figure for this significant figure is 3. So the multiplication a into b, so this quantity when it will be multiplied, so the result can have only 3 significant figure. So we will take only 3 significant figure. This is the meaning of this thing. This least significant figure decide. Least significant figure from the given number decide that product will be on that basis. So what will be the product? Let's say that we are calculating. So the product will be 2.302 multiplied by 3.04, and this will come out to be 6.99808. But what we'll do, we'll only take up to 3 digit, because we have to decide only up to 3 significant figures. So we'll take only up to this point. Right now we are not very concerned about rounding off, so we are ignoring this rest of the number. So our result will be 6.99. but okay, so after we'll learn how to round off the number, then we'll take 4 digit and then we'll round up to 3 significant figures. So now if somebody asks what will be the product of a into c, you will do similar kind of exercise. 2.302 multiplied by 0.04. we know that this has significant figure 1. This has 1 significant figure, so this product will have only 1 digit or 1 significant figure. So we can see that 2.302 multiplied by 0.04, and this comes out to be 0.092. but we will only take least significant figure, so we'll take only 1 significant figure, so we'll drop 2. So hopefully this makes sense. Same is true for division also. So let's say that if we are asked to divide b by c, then we know that the smallest significant figure will be the deciding factor of the division. So this division will have only one significant figure, so we'll divide normally. So this will be 3.04 divided by 0.04, and this comes out to be 76, and this comes out to be 76. So in this case, what we'll do is that we have to only take up to one value, one significant figure. So that's why we round it. We need to round off. So that's why we can either choose 70 or 80. So hopefully 80 is the right answer. I have seen one advanced question, or I have seen some question on this. So hopefully this is the right answer, because we have to only keep one significant figure. That's why we need to drop this 6, and we can drop this 6 by keeping it 0. So we will raise 7 to 8. So this should be the right answer. So hopefully I will not encounter this complexity always. Most of the time it will be easy. So least significant figure is the deciding factor in case of division and product, and in case of subtraction and addition. In case of subtraction and addition, we'll take same number. Let's say that we have a to be 2.304, b to be 3.04, and c to be 0.04. We already know that this will have 4 significant figure, this will have 3 significant figure, and this have 1 significant figure. And let's take another number. Let's say we have d, and that is equal to 2.2. So in case of addition and subtraction, rule is that we take least decimal. We take least decimal count number. What do we do in case of subtraction and addition? We take least decimal count to be the deciding factor of rule of addition. So if we add a plus b plus c plus d, let's say that we are adding a plus b plus c plus d. So what will be the significant figure? This will have 2 significant figure, this will have 2 significant figure. So of all the 4 number, this will be the deciding factor of this addition. So when we'll add, we'll only take up to 1 decimal point. That is the thing to remember, that we will not, we don't consider significant figure to be the criteria for deciding the value of addition or subtraction. We choose, what we do, we choose the least decimal count number. So this have 1 decimal count, that's why our addition will be decided on this number. So we can add, what will be the addition? We'll have 2.302 plus 3.04 plus 0.04 plus 2.2. So this comes out to be 7.582. So what we'll do, we'll take only up to 1 decimal point. So we'll ignore 8 and 2. So right now we are not concerned about this is 8 and 2. So right now I'm just ignoring this. I'm not concerned about rounding it off because that is another thing to learn. So right now we are just dropping the rest of the number, but after learning the rounding of technique, you'll have to take care of that also. So hopefully this makes sense. So if somebody asks you to B plus C plus D, then we know that our deciding factor will be this. D will be our deciding factor. Or let's say that we add A plus B plus C, so the deciding factor will be up to 2 decimal point, because after decimal point the B and C both number have, after decimal point they have 2 digits. That's why division of this addition will take only up to 2 decimal points. So this will be 2.302 plus 3.04 plus 0.04, and this comes out to be 5.382. So we'll ignore 2. So this will be the answer for this. So one very good example, a doubtful example in case of division, it's given in NCERT, is 3.07 minus 0.304. So what will be the significant figure of this? This will be 3 significant figure. This will have 3 significant figure, and after division what will be the value? 0.300 and 3. So on the criteria of decimal point, we'll have after 3 decimal point, but we know that this is also equivalent to 1 significant figure, so we can write it like this. So to know that in difference significant figure can change. So hopefully this makes sense. So now there is a rules for how do we round off. So we have seen that there is a problem with rounding off. How do we round off? So let's take example 7.325, 7.326, 7.335, 7.324. So this many variations you will see. We'll learn about rules while solving it. So let's take first this number. Let's take 4th this number. So we want to round off to after 2 digit of the decimal. We want to round off till 2 decimal points. So we want to ignore the 4th digit. We want to drop this 4th digit. So what is the rule? So if this is less than 5, then we'll just write it like this: 7.32, and we will drop 4 without any consideration, without any change. We already know this. Okay, and in case of this, we already have idea of this because we have been doing rounding off for edges. So in this case we want to round off, so we'll take 7.3 and 2 if the preceding digit, if the digit after it, like if this is 6, then we'll raise 2 by 1 unit, so this will become 7.33 and we'll drop 6. So there is no doubt about that. We already know that by intuition that is true. In case of these two numbers, these two are very special numbers. When we want to drop out 5, So if before 5 this is an even number, then we simply drop 5 without changing. So this will become 327.32. We will drop 5 without any change. In this case, when the preceding digit, what is called succeeding digit, so you understand what I'm trying to say, then when this number is odd, then we will drop 5, but before doing that we'll raise that digit. So this will become 3 and 4. So we'll raise 3 by 1 unit and we'll drop 5. So these are the simple rule, that if the previous number is odd, if it's even, then we drop. If the previous digit is even, then drop 5. If this is odd, then drop 5, but then odd, make it odd plus 1, and then drop 5. So hopefully you understood the rule of rounding off. How do we round off? If you have any doubt, please ask.